Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. Denitsa Sokova is Bloomberg News cross-asset reporter. She joins us here in the Bloomberg Interactive Brokers studio. We got to start with Intel.
Let's start with Intel. We had a good start of the week for Intel. Today, obviously, things are not looking so good. Down more than 6% in late trading. It comes off a weak forecast for the current period and saying that it's cutting workers to bring down costs. We had a headline from Bloomberg News that they're reducing their ranks by more than 20%. Which was well received at the time. But now we're seeing first the second quarter revenue will be between 11 billion and 12.4 billion. So that's where we're seeing some disappointment. It was short of the about 13 billion estimate we saw from the street. And that was one of the biggest disappointments. Of course, we have a new CEO taking over the company. There has been a lot of optimism based on that. The company is actually up year to date, one of the few tech shares that are up. It's up 7%. We saw some good parts in the reports. Quarter sales came in at 12.7 billion, topping predictions. It's more when it looks to guidance and the future in those weak forecasts, suggesting that the uptick in demand maybe is a blip. We know that there has been a lot of rush of orders right ahead of the tariffs. So analysts are worried about that, but yet it's a good start of the year despite today's move.
And I was obsessed because Intel was up about 14% this week heading into earnings. So there was a lot of buying going into these earnings reports. So definitely lower. Where do you want to take us? Alaska Air?
Yeah, let's talk about the airlines. They've all been taking a lot of pressure lately. Alaska Air tumbled about 10% today. After the carrier's second quarter forecast for adjusted earnings trailed the average estimate. We've seen all those airlines bring back their guidance. We've seen a lot of that high frequency economic data showing that traffic is down, especially when it comes to international tourists. And that's definitely putting a lot of pressure. The company said it would not update its full year 2025 guidance, and it will provide an update later in the year. Of course, it's the uncertainty coming with the fast changing trade policies, with immigration and all those rules. We, of course, had American Airlines today withdraw its full year earnings outlook. We've seen so much uncertainty with the airlines, and Alaska Air is a particularly bad hit. 36% loss year to date, which is second worst year on record. Really tough year.
We had a great chat earlier with Sheila Kayalu at Jefferies. She's an analyst who covers pretty much every airline except for Alaska.
Yeah.
which we noted.
Yeah.
That said, she did say, it was pretty bad a month ago. It's gotten better for airlines now, and she's not necessarily seeing in the results a huge concern when it comes to international. Yes, maybe 10% from Canada for certain airlines. Still, we'll wait and see. Consumer in the U.S. has pulled back. Commercial business, still pretty good.
Well, and she was saying that it's like a month or so ago, right? That really the airlines got such a beating when we had a couple of the majors come out and talk down their outlooks, and that so much bad news has been factored in, because I was surprised to see American moving up in today's session. So it was kind of an interesting day. Let's go to toys. Can we go there?
Yeah, we've been talking about consumer sentiments and where it's going bad. When we talk about toys, things are looking good. Hasbro shares surged today the most in 5 years. The toy maker beat analyst estimates on both profit, revenue, said it's in a good shape despite the tariffs. Some interesting stats: roughly 50% of its US toy and game come from China. China will continue to be a major manufacturing hub for them, but they are trying to bring down meaningfully the exports they get from there. Their most popular product, Dungeons and Dragons, has low tariff exposures, they said, so perhaps that's bringing some relief. The stocks jumped as much as 16% in earlier trading, and is up 8% year to date, which is one of the biggest winners from all the stocks we're looking at.
Tim, you play Dungeons and Dragons on the weekend,
I don't
right?
even know how.
No judgment.
I don't even know how. You know
come
what I'm
on.
shocked? Can I tell you something that I'm shocked
friends.
about?
You can tell us you
I'm
play.
on Hasbro's website.
Yeah.
When you think of Barbie, what do you think?
I think of Mattel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hasbro is advertising Play-Doh Barbie.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. My mind is blown.
Are those frenemies like working together?
I don't
Maybe it's
know.
a partnership.
Yeah.
Wait, I
Go
gotta
to Hasbro.com.
Hasbro.com,
Yeah.
and I'm going to look up.
Oh, wow.
You see it?
Play-Doh.
What is
Coming
that?
soon.
Exactly. So I'm just looking at the different brands that Hasbro has. They have a lot of games too. So
For
Monopoly, Furby, Nerf, Transformers. You mentioned Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Carol's favorite though is Barbie.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.